Hello everyone, and welcome one and all to a little bit of an unearthing of some Harry Potter fan fiction that I happened to stumble across in some old journals of mine. Now, unfortunately, I think I had more of these at one point, but I had moved with the pages so many times that on this last move, I got so frustrated and just kind of thought to myself, I'm never going to have the space or time to actually type these out. Well, it turns out I was wrong. I just needed to settle. But I am a very impulsive person, so I didn't keep them. I ended up tossing them like an idiot. So, while I mourn the loss of those pages, it is what it is, you know. But I did happen to stumble across one section that was still intact. So, for your listening pleasure, I present to you the Malfoy Chronicles ReDux when I was thinking about rewriting the entirety of that other portion that I had already written. So, without further ado, let's just get into it. The Malfoy Chronicles, The Slytherin Princess. Chapter 1, Finnegan House. Mally leaned on the windowsill and sighed. When would that sodding bird of hers return? It was noon, and still Hocus had not returned with the letter she was so anxiously waiting for. Suddenly, the door of her room burst open, making her jump. She turned to see Seamus standing in the doorway. Mally groaned. "What do you want, Seamus?" she asked. "Have you seen my wand?" he asked. "It should be in your room," Mally replied flatly. "Well, it's not," he shouted. Mally groaned again. "Why can't you ever keep track of your own sodding stuff, Seamus?" "Because I was bored and forgetful," he spat back. Mally was about to open her mouth to tell him to saw it off and find his own bloody wand when a tapping noise on the glass of her window drew her attention away. She turned to see her red-eyed, brown-feathered owl sitting outside her window, tapping frantically on the glass. Excitement surged through her body when she saw that he bore a letter attached to his leg. Forgetting all about Seamus, she quickly unlatched the window and threw it open, almost knocking Hocus off the window in her excitement. Hocus, after regaining his balance, flew into the room and alighted on Mally's shoulder. She quickly untied the ribbon from Hocus's leg, who seemed grateful to have it removed, because as soon as he was free, he flew to his cage and began gulping down large sums of water. Mally traced her fingers over the black envelope that bore the Malfoy crest on the cover. She brought the letter to her nose and inhaled deeply. His fresh rainwater and vanilla scent lingered all too strongly on the letter, making her sigh and wish that he was with her at this very moment. His gorgeous figure and face flashed in her mind for a brief second, before a long groan broke her from her daydream. Oh yeah, she had forgotten. Seamus was still in her room. "Do you mind?" she asked curtly. "Is that who I think it's from?" he asked, pointing a finger at the letter. Mally smiled and nodded. "Forget the wand, I'm out of here," he said hurriedly, and closed the door, muttering something about stupid sodding Malfoy. Mally turned the letter over and untied the green ribbon that kept it concealed. She pulled out a single piece of parchment, unfolded it quickly, and read, "Dear Mally, I really think they should make summer illegal. I mean, think about it. You don't have any work to do, you forget everything they teach you, and you miss the ones you care about. Anyway, this is about the extent of my summer writing to you, just like Elvira keeps writing to Saint Potter. Honestly, I don't know what she sees in him. Anyway, enough about them. Let's talk about me. Just kidding, love. Miss you and love you. Draco. Mally giggled after she read his letter. Draco and Harry. They were always at each other's throats, but she was glad to hear that Harry and Elvira were still together, even if Draco did not approve. She sighed. How she missed him. Glancing out the window, she wondered what he was doing right now. Chapter 2. Malfoy Mansion. Draco sighed and stretched his aching back. He really didn't know how long he had been sitting at this desk, but he knew had been quite a while. He must have started 1,000 letters to Mally, but none of them ever seemed to sound any good. He thought that rather odd, though. Summer had just started not too long ago, and he had not received one letter from Mally. Not one. Just thinking about it made his heart sink. Had she found someone else? Was she angry with him about something? What was it? There was no reason for her silence. Damn it, he needed to know. Suddenly, the door opened, breaking Draco out of his thoughts. He turned, expecting to see Elvira or maybe even their mother. However, it was neither of them. Lucius Malfoy stood regally in the doorframe. And that is where I stopped. And because there was no more. And I didn't continue it, which is kind of a shame because I sort of liked it. Especially on that reread. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you are enjoying this content, as always, be certain to leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. And if you are at all interested, I do have a Patreon, which I have videos up on there of very serious pop culture topics, as well as my spicy art tier and some of my own personal writings. Or if you feel like it, supporting me monetarily on my Ko-fi, I would very much appreciate it. But again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Good night.